In my last video, I talked about PERMA, positive emotion, engagement, relationships, meaning, achievement, and of course there's that V on the end for vitality. As far as a model of well-being goes, it's pretty sound. But how do we actually get to achieve those things? Seems pretty simple, but trust me, it's not that easy. Personally, I'm an advocate for sustainable well-being, and I know that it takes commitment and time. But that commitment should not be a chore, at least not in the long run. All habits start as conscious action. Right? They take work to get started. But when we adapt, they do become automatic. To me, well-being is built on physical wellness, emotional wellness, spiritual wellness, right? And it's the connection between those three things that come into a kind of balance. And it's up to you or the team of people that you work with to understand what that balance looks like for you. I'll be honest, that's the hard part, because it's trial and error and really figuring out whether you're a physical person or an emotional person or a spiritual person, or basically where to start. Because as you work through these things, that balance will kind of naturally fall into place. The best advice that I can give you is to start now, start small, and be consistent. Let's say you want to start with a physical journey. Don't go joining expensive gyms or paying personal trainers or any of that sort of thing in the onset. Start small. And that could be going for a 10-minute walk every day, or at least 10 minutes in one direction and 10 minutes back. As you build up that habit, you might want to up the ante just a little bit by walking further, walking longer. You might want to start running. Hell, you may want to go out there and get yourself a gym membership after all. I know there are some really good low-impact programs out there for those of you who may want to start a physical journey but don't quite know where to start, and I'll put the link below. What about an emotional journey? How does that begin? Again, start small, and it might be as simple as starting a journal, a gratitude journal of some description. But like I say, small. I am grateful for the sunny day. I am grateful for my colleague bringing me a coffee in the morning. A great way to start this habit is at the end of the day, before you go to bed, while you're winding down, is to sit down and write, pen and paper, get a pen and paper, and write down the 3 best things that occurred that day. And they could be the smallest little things, like the weather, a cat's purr, your colleague bringing you coffee, or just finishing the day so I could finally get home. What I'm getting at is that you're recording the thing that you are grateful for. It doesn't have to be a big deal, something small. Get started, get that pen and paper and start writing. It's one small step that'll take you in the right direction to balancing those emotions, shifting the perspective, and building a positive mindset. And what about that spiritual journey, that spiritual well-being? I know that spirituality is a more intangible thing, but it is completely doable. I see spirituality as what brings meaning to your life, and being spiritual is sharing that meaning with others. Think in terms of awe. When you see a beautiful sunset or a sunrise, if you're going for that morning walk 10 minutes in that direction and 10 minutes back, it might be the sunrise, the sunset. It could be the sound of the birds in the trees. My point is to make time every day to savor a moment. Similar to the emotional journey, maybe start writing a little journal that reflects on your day and how you were able to create meaning, or what you saw in the world that gave you a sense of meaning. So in terms of how to create this sense of PERMA, positive emotion, engagement, relationship, meaning, sense of achievement, which ultimately brings about that sense of vitality, is take small steps in the right direction. As you begin this journey, rather as you continue on this journey, you'll understand what the balance looks like for you. For me, it starts on a physical level and leaks into and becomes emotional, spiritual. Other people, like yourself for example, it might start at the spiritual of seeing or finding meaning, and then linking that to the physical journey that comes along. When I'm asked these questions of how and what to do, usually the answer is, well, it depends. It depends on you, and it depends on what works for you. So I'll drop a couple of links below, one to a physical journey, one to an emotional journey, and another to help you discover what your strengths are and how you can use those to create some stronger strength-based habits.